is exploring countries around the world. Wolverines in Indonesia, rocking a sarong and saying nasi goreng bub. Wolverines in Arabia, looking fierce in a keffiyeh and saying shawarma bub. Wolverines in Tanzania, looking fierce in a katenge while stalking the savannah. Wolverines at the Eiffel Tower, rocking a beret and saying, "This view beats any cafe." Wolverines in Egypt, chilling by the pyramids and saying, "I could use a good climb." Wolverines in Greece, enjoying the view of the Acropolis and saying, "Forget the olives, I want to explore." Wolverines in Russia, rocking a ushanka and admiring the Red Square. These winters are no joke. Wolverines in Canada wearing a plaid shirt and saying, "Hey, this maple syrup is legendary." Wolverines in Jamaica, rocking a Rastafarian hat and saying, "Time for some serious chill." Wolverines in Korea, jamming to K-pop and saying, "These moves are almost as sharp as my claws." Wolverines in Italy, rocking the latest fashion in Rome and saying, "When in Rome, dress like a legend." Wolverines in Poland, rocking a folk costume and saying, "These pierogies are amazing." Wolverines in Algeria, exploring the Sahara and saying, "I could get used to this wild side." Wolverines in Spain, enjoying a fiesta and saying, "These flamenco dancers are fierce." Wolverines in Ghana, rocking kente cloth and saying, "These colors match my vibe." Wolverines in Portugal, strumming a guitar and saying, "These vibes are amazing." Wolverines in Finland, battling the cold and saying, "This frost doesn't stand a chance against me." Wolverines in Qatar, wearing a thobe and saying, "What a desert oasis." Wolverines in Australia, wearing a hat and saying, "Watch for kangaroos." Wolverines in Japan, standing in front of an ancient temple and saying, "This place has stories to tell." Wolverines in Scotland in a kilt shouting, "Let's dance." Wolverines in Brazil, enjoying the carnival and saying, "This is my kind of party." Wolverines in India in a kurta saying, "This curry is fire." Wolverines in the UK, dressed to impress and saying, "These red buses are iconic." Wolverines in Vietnam wearing a non-LA and saying, "This hat is as sharp as my claws." Wolverines in the Netherlands biking through tulip fields and saying, "These flowers are wild." Wolverines in Argentina sporting a gaucho hat and saying, "These tango moves are bold." Wolverines in Iceland, marveling at geysers and saying, "This landscape is otherworldly." Wolverines in Switzerland, admiring the Alps and saying, these peaks are a sight to behold. Wolverines in Turkey, enjoying a feast of kebabs and saying, these flavors are incredible. Wolverines in Thailand, exploring ancient temples and saying, these places are filled with history. Wolverines in Morocco, wandering through vibrant souks and saying, these colors are as bold as my claws. Wolverines in Iran, standing in front of ancient ruins and saying, these stories echo through time. Wolverines in Denmark, enjoying the Little Mermaid statue and saying, this place has charm. Wolverines in Pakistan, spotting a topi and saying, these bazaars are treasure troves. Wolverines in Ireland, enjoying a pint of stout and saying, this brew is legendary. Wolverines in Germany, donning lederhosen and saying, time for some beer and brats. Wolverines in China, slurping noodles and saying, these flavors are intense. Wolverines in Colombia, dancing to salsa and saying, these rhythms are infectious. Wolverines in Bangladesh, spotting a tiger and saying, now that's a fierce competitor. Wolverines in Peru, admiring Machu Picchu and saying, this view is breathtaking. Wolverines in Kyrgyzstan, riding a horse and saying, these landscapes are wild. Wolverines in Sri Lanka, visiting tea plantations and saying, this tea is a delight. Wolverines in Croatia, lounging by the coast and saying, this place is a paradise. Wolverines in Czechia, enjoying the architecture and saying, these buildings are works of art. Wolverines in Mexico, savoring tacos and saying, these flavors are on fire. Wolverines in the USA, enjoying a hot dog and saying, this is a classic American treat.